Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Studio 5, going live yet again. I'm sorry it's been a little bit of a break in between the last time I was going live. Perhaps that's a good thing. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Reading Reconstructs Me. The binding is finished. A little bit of titivation here and there, but by and large, it is finished. Hooray, I hear you shout. Anyway, we can see here we've got our gold tooling, we've got our back paired onlays, and if you remember the going live from a little while ago, I was talking about and showing you how to do a back paired onlay, full leather binding, all sorts of things happening. Now the design. For those of you who are perhaps familiar with the work I do, you'll be looking at this and thinking, that's not typical of Mark. Well, in one way it is, because, you know, it's about having more of colours, more ways of applying designs and other things. And it's about sort of not necessarily it all being all singing or dancing and chucking everything on there. Sometimes restraint is needed. And with this particular book, Reading Reconstructs Me, what I wanted to do was to get down to some basic design elements. And though inspired by the 1950s, jazz sort of record album covers and sorts of things, I'm very fortunate in that every day I pass a record shop and whenever possible they change the window. So I've got, you know, things around me. My inspiration comes from the world around me and of course the text block itself. But what I wanted to do was sort of create a stylized stack of books that are either have been read or will be read, sort of building blocks. And as we read the books, we construct our knowledge on our inside and everything else. And this is where the design comes from. It's a very simple design, but I actually think it's quite eloquent. It says what I would like it to say. Anyway, so we've got the outside here, and what we're going to do, we're going to go through and we're going to be looking at the end papers, which are common made end papers. That's just a lamination. And again, this is just been put down and everything's quite nice with them. And what I want to do with this is obviously, you've got to be careful when you're putting your end papers in place so that you get the follow through, so that what's happening on the front in this particular case also follows through onto the back as well. You can see that with my little pointy hand thing. Very nice. Blue today, obviously. Now, the end papers are about the art of the book. That was sort of got from an old set of Encyclopedia Britannicas, which I think is really quite cool. And again, it's about manipulation. This is a combination of the here and now, obviously using the scanner, using the printer and all sorts of things. So I've got a laser printer, which is very cool, get a really sharp, crisp image, but also using, you know, a sort of relative way of doing it. We can see how the end papers go through and round, and we finish, go onto the back end papers, and again they've just been put down, and so you can see how there is that sense of continuity happening with those end papers. Really nice and cool, very, very simple. Anyway, that's reconstructed. Reading Reconstructs Me, and all I've got to do now is make a box, and that'll be it. You'll notice that I haven't sort of encumbered the binding with the title. This is going to be going in a box. The title will be on the box, or some device of actually letting you know what's in the book. It's not as if it's from a set of, you know, the Waverley novels where there's 30 odd edition, you know, volumes. People tend to know what they've got on their bookshelves. Anyway, once again, thank you all very, very much indeed. This is Studio 5 going live with Reading Reconstructs Me. Thank you all very much indeed. Have a lovely day. It's a little bit moist in London today, a little bit chilly. It is summer. There you go. Very changeable. Anyway, have a lovely, lovely, lovely day. And thanks very, very much indeed. This is Studio 5, and I was live.